What's up, everyone? It's been a while. It's been a long time, actually. Got some explaining to do and got some stuff to show you. And I don't know, it's gonna be a kind of a long video explaining some stuff. So let's start with what's behind me right here. This is our new truck number 7. So it's 2026 Chevy 2500 in the Crowley pool blue. I had to get the blue. As you guys probably saw if you follow us on social media, on Instagram, you probably already saw the pictures of this. And we also have a V-plow. That's going to be the biggest feature on this thing this winter is checking out the plowing footage with the V-plow, not just a straight blade. So I know you guys are going to be excited about that. But we'll get into more in another video. But this is my new truck. And then obviously we have a mini excavator in the back here. This is for a project we're starting tomorrow. So this video is more just explaining what's been going on, kind of channel update, all that. We'll get into our next project on the next video, and I'll eventually get more into the truck at some other point. But we do get a new truck. It's a Chevy 2500. Got the V-plow, so no more hate on the straight blades. And then, like I said, we got the rental E20 for a project we're doing tomorrow on a pool deck. So we need the small machine. We got the old Bobcat here. And let's go sit by the fire and do some explaining. So, trying out a couple new things here. On a new camera. I also bought a drone, so hopefully I can get some drone footage this winter plowing. Basically, the reason for this video, obviously, loyal channel followers, we've been pretty MIA for quite a while. Posted some short videos and, you know, a couple small things here and there, but nothing crazy this summer. Kind of just want to explain what's been going on. So, long story short, and if you guys follow us on social media, you probably already know the story, but we were, well, I might have mentioned it in plowing videos last year, but me and my wife were expecting a baby this summer, well, technically fall. Baby decided to come 2 months early, which, you know, obviously we were not expecting. The due date was end of September, this 27th, something like that. And so I'm just checking my phone. I'm trying to see how this footage looks on this new camera. But basically, we were expecting a baby the end of September, which would have been, you know, last month. Randomly, and I won't get into details, but wife started feeling some weird things, and baby had to come early. So we ended up having the baby in the end of July, which literally just came out of nowhere. We were just, you know, average night, came home from work. I didn't even come home, actually. We weren't even home yet. And she got some blood test results, and basically we're told to go to the hospital immediately. Got to the hospital, and they basically said, you know, you have to give birth. They were going to try to do it that night, but, you know, within the next X amount of hours. She had this crazy thing called HELP syndrome, which, not that you guys really care, but for you females out there, it's a pregnancy complication, very rare. It's a form of preeclampsia, which is, I guess, somewhat common with pregnancies, like a high blood pressure thing. The HELP syndrome is like a crazy severe case that comes literally out of nowhere, and that's exactly what happened with her. So unfortunately, the only way to solve it is to give birth. So we had our baby 2 months early. To complicate things, not only having the baby 2 months early, is she ended up getting an infection like 4 or 5 days after birth. It was literally the day we got discharged. Obviously the baby was in the NICU for, you know, some time, and baby got a blood infection. So the story gets wild, but basically the infection not only was in her blood, it rooted in her heart, in the back of her heart. So the only way to really treat it was with antibiotics. Thankfully, you know, we started in one hospital kind of near where we live here, ended up at another hospital in Boston, and ultimately ended up at Children's Hospital, which is pretty much the best children's hospital in the entire world. They were able to finally get a good concoction of antibiotics and stuff like that, and eventually got the infection under control. We ended up spending 2 months at Children's Hospital in Boston, and then we eventually got transferred closer to us, which was still not close. The closest hospital that we were allowed to go to, basically with the NICUs, and not that anybody probably has had the situation, but, you know, if you're in a NICU, there's 4 different levels. The NICU basically is a neonatal intensive care unit. So basically, you know, a baby intensive care unit. basically we had to go to a level 3 NICU or higher, and the only closest one to us was still about a half hour, 45 minutes away, which is better than going into the city. But essentially we ended up there for the last month, and then finally got discharged a couple weeks ago. So as you can imagine, it was 62 days total in the hospital. As you can imagine, you know, the only focus in life for those 62 days was pretty much just survive. You know, support the wife, support the baby, you know, do what we had to do, go in every day, you know, see the baby in the hospital, spend time there. I was working a little bit as much as I can, but it really, you know, was kind of just get the business by. It was tough. It was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. But basically, we got through it. David, Ryan, and Chris kind of really stepped up. There's no kind in there. They stepped up and kept this business afloat, which I am more than grateful for. We still had a lot of big projects going on at the time, you know, pool liners, renovations, you know, obviously all the weekly cleanings. And then we obviously got into closing season, which is our busiest time of year, which I was able to work quite a bit through the beginning of closing season with them almost every day, and then, you know, essentially go into the hospital after work and stay there all night, and, you know, not fun. But, you know, we got through. Now here we are. Baby's been home for a couple weeks now, so I'm kind of in that stage of, you know, figuring out how to sleep and, you know, get back to a normal routine. And finally, you know, able to get out and get back into the field a little bit. So that's kind of why making this channel, this update for the channel here is, you know, we're hopefully going to start filming more videos. I do have some more time now, obviously being home more. So I went out and kind of splurged. I bought a couple new cameras. Hopefully I get some cool angles at plowing. And I did end up biting the bullet on a drone. Hoping we can use that for plowing, getting some cool, you know, footage from above. I'm obviously going to use it for other stuff too, you know, other jobs. But as you can tell, it's obviously late into October here. Leaves have changed. It's in the 40s today. So, you know, pool season is pretty much coming to a wrap. The other reason why I kind of let the channel die this summer is, you know, obviously if you look at the analytics, you know, the pool service videos don't really get a lot of views. I'm assuming most of you guys that watch this channel and actually these long videos are here for the snow plowing and, you know, trucks and that kind of content. So, you know, no offense to you guys that do like the pool stuff, I wasn't going to waste my time filming all these videos to get like 100, 200 views, which I did actually film a couple projects at the beginning of the year, which I really thought you guys would like. Some really big projects, some stuff we, you know, stepped out of our comfort zone to do. And, you know, they only got like 200-300 views. So obviously, you know, a plowing video will get thousands of views and a pool video gets a couple hundred views. You know, this clearly, you know, it's pretty clear what everybody likes. So that was the other part is we were just so busy, you know, and I say this on the channel all the time. We are a pool company at the end of the day. That is where we make all of our money. You know, we make 80%, 90% of our income on pool work and about 10 to 15, maybe 20 at max on snow plowing. So obviously you can imagine I'm gonna focus on where the money comes from. And obviously YouTube, you know, we don't really, you know, we're not a big massive channel that makes a living off YouTube. Wish we were maybe someday, but we don't have sponsors and stuff like that. But so just want to give a quick update, you know, try out this new camera as well, give a quick update, you know, what the hell's been going on. We are starting a big project tomorrow. We're doing a whole plumbing renovation on a pool. That's why we got the Mini on the trailer right there. So definitely gonna film that. I might even break out the drone, honestly. And then after that, we did pull the plows out last week. I didn't film, but I'll end up starting to do videos, you know, on all the snow equipment. Obviously we got the new V plow, we got the new truck, so eventually I'll kind of do an update video of all the equipment. We did find that our spreader, our polycaster, the chain snapped on us, so we got to figure that situation out and fix that, and I don't know, we'll deal with that another day. And couple other little things. So we got a couple other projects going on too, you know, down the pipeline. So we got a little bit till snow comes, but just kind of want to give you guys a quick update here. I'm going to try my best to kind of rebirth this channel a little bit. It's been tough, and that's just kind of why I wanted to make this video. If you guys did watch to the end, I appreciate it. You know, I know there's a lot of talking here, and just, you know, half of you guys probably already tuned out, but I do feel like I owe it to you that, you know, the ones that have been watching this channel for a while, because we do have almost 10,000 subscribers at this point. So, you know, we're getting some traction. A lot of it comes from the short videos, not the long ones that we're making here. But I do feel like I owe it to you guys to kind of explain what the hell's been going on, because I kind of just dropped off the face of the earth. I know when I watch YouTube, you know, if you're watching a channel for a while or years and all of a sudden there's just no videos, you're like, what the hell happened, you know? So it's kind of what this video is about, just updating you guys. So hopefully, you know, between having a little more free time on my hands now, some new camera equipment, I'm hopefully making the jump back into, you know, getting back to weekly videos and maybe even twice a week, you know, like we did all winter. So we'll see. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, you know, family is more important than anything. So. But I'll make some more videos in the future, and appreciate you guys' support, and we'll see you guys in the next video.